But anyway, I'll briefly talk about the Red Wings pick because, again, I can really only comment based on the measurables and the stats that are given to me. So the Rings pick up right winger Michael Brandseg Nygaard. Great first name, by the way. Very good first name. I was really happy about that. He is 6'1", 198 pounds. I don't know if that's accurate. I thought I saw he was like 200 pounds. Let's look at Hockey DB because I have two sources here. No, it lists him as 198 pounds. So, all right. I thought maybe ESPN got it wrong initially because I remember seeing on the broadcast, I thought it was 200. But last season, he did not have like an amazing year. He had just 18 points in 41 games. I mean, whatever. The guy is 18 years old. He played for Sweden, but he's Norwegian. I believe he's the first Norwegian player taken in the first round. So hey, maybe this is like when the Red Wings started taking, European players before everybody back in the 90s, and then you had your Nick Lindstroms, your Henrik Zetterbergs, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know if it's like that, but whatever. Okay. We probably won't see him for like another 4 years anyway, so I can't offer you much as far as immediate impact on the Red Wings. But as far as the Red Wings go, they did make a couple of moves that were of note. The first was the bringing in of a new goaltender, which is much appreciated. They bring in Cam Talbot. Last year played for the LA Kings. Was technically an All-Star. Had a 991 save percentage, 913 save percentage, I should say. 250 goals against. He had 3 shutouts. 27 and 20. He's vet. He's like 30. Was he 36? He's gonna be 37 in a couple of days here. Okay. I'm not jumping up and down about it. He's definitely, I think, an upgrade from the Alex Lyon and James Reimer experience. However, what I will say is I really don't know that this is like, going to be goalie 1 necessarily. Well, maybe he will be goalie 1, but this signals to me the fact that we didn't go out and get, any of the big name goaltenders like the Gibsons or the Olmarks of the world. It tells me that Steve Yzerman believes in these goalie prospects in, the Trey Augustines and the Sebastian Cosas of the world. Sebastian Cossa, obviously much, much closer to the NHL level. And to be honest with you, in my mind, it just seems like this is the year where Sebastian Cossa should be making the team, at least as a backup. And if his compatriot, if his, if you want to say like his guiding light, someone who can teach him a lot is Cam Talbot. Look, as far as I'm concerned, I'll take that. This is a veteran of the league. He's been playing for over a decade. Played for multiple teams at this point, all over the league. I think he'd be a really, really solid, guide for a rookie who might be struggling and needs advice. I'd be fine with it, and I'm totally okay with this as a move. I'm not like, jumping up and down and saying this is the greatest move ever. Steve Yzerman should get an extension, sort of thing. But I'm also not, losing my mind. The other big move, because there was a lot of other moves, but not really much note. They bring in a defenseman, Eric Gustafsson. I don't know the pronunciation if I'm getting that right. He had 31 points in 76 games, 6 goals, 25 assists. He was a +3 player. Okay. Again, like I'm not amazingly overwhelmed here, but you bolster up the defense as far as I'm concerned. Now here's the thing. The Wings lost a lot of players. They also did bring back Patrick Kane as well. That was probably the biggest move they've made so far, is the bringing back of Patrick Kane, which I was surprised by. I'm glad to see him back. He was an excellent player offensively for us. On the defensive end, I need a little bit more than just these 2 moves. And I know that technically there were other moves. They brought in Jack Campbell, who is not the linebacker for the Lions. Different Jack Campbell. But it's just kind of funny that both Detroit Red Wings and the Lions have a Jack Campbell on their team. But I kind of want to see, a big name trade. And I don't know what that looks like. I mean, my heart of hearts, my dream that is not going to come true, but I would still love to see is if somehow, you know, Leon Draisaitl gets moved. I don't think it's going to happen, but if that can possibly happen, because obviously in a contract year, and we don't know what the situation is there. I can't imagine Edmonton's going to let him go, but stranger things have happened. Uh, all things considered, I don't think it's going to happen. The other guy is Jacob Trouba. I'm not sold on Jacob Trouba as like this elite defender, but he's a bit of an enforcer. You know, he's a defensive defenseman. He will get in your face. He will knock you on your teeth. He will knock your teeth out. Is what I should be saying. Like he would be an upgrade in the defensive unit for the Red Wings. Plus, it seems to me that a lot of these moves are sort of setting the stage for what Steve Yzerman is thinking right now, which is I'm not going to go out and get a big name vet for long term. I'm going to bring up the guys that I drafted, that my staff developed, and they're going to be what brings this team back from the brink. I am skeptical, to say the least. I've talked about it before. A lot of these guys have not made the NHL level at this point. Not to say that they're going to be bad, but the fact that only 3 players that he's drafted have made the team up to this point is a little concerning. But it's not the end of the world. You could see your Elmer Soderblom's come back. He was on the team a couple of years ago and had some decent contributions. Injuries kind of played a part in his limited role there. Simon Edvinsson, as far as I'm concerned, he's consistently was consistently ranked as one of the top NHL prospects, certainly one of the top defenseman prospects. So if he's anything as advertised, he will be a boost in that defensive room. I mean, if he can be like Mo Seider 2.0, you know, then your defense, like at least that top line with Mo Seider and presumably Simon Edvinsson, that could be a brick wall on defense. And just having that will certainly be a boost to the team. And then if you get a guy like a Marco Kasper, you know, maybe Carter Mazer, you know, get some extra goal scorers in there on the second, third, maybe even the fourth line, you might be able to see this team making the improvements. This is all kind of hinging upon the players that you have drafted and have developed paying off. I don't have a whole lot of evidence as of right now that is necessarily going to be the case. I do have Lucas Raymond and Mo Seider both being really good players. Difference between those guys, they were both the first players in their respective drafts. I don't know if Simon Edvinsson is going to be good. I can assume, I can make some reasonable extrapolations, but I don't know. I would love for him to be good, but I have no reason to believe. And don't give me you watched AHL Grand Rapids Griffins game. I'm going to be honest. I don't know that there is a legal way to watch those games. I'm not convinced. I'm pretty sure basically the only way you watch those games is if it has Taiwanese subtitles in the middle of the game. Just random Asian text. You don't understand what it's saying, but you know, the guy hosting the stream is, you know, somewhere in Southeast Asia. The guy is or something. I don't know. But basically, all of this is to say the Red Wings are kind of immune to, you know, blockbuster moves. But that doesn't mean that nothing will happen. I do think that over the span of the offseason, if this is the extent, I'm going to go in very wary, and I'm not sure I could put that team in the playoffs. However, the thing I always go back to, as I'm certainly not a Steve Yzerman, you know, fanboy, and you know, I will take him to task if I believe he needs to be taken to task. But every year, they have gotten better. It's been incremental, and it's been, you know, not large amounts, but every year, statistically speaking, they have gotten better. Do I think that could plateau? It could. It really all depends on how good these young guys are and how quickly they, you know, make an impact. It could be like, you know, we could look at the next big thing in Lucas Raymond, and he could have like a 90-point season. He could pull like a Jack Hughes or any of these, you know, name these big name wingers and forwards, you know, that have kind of come up recently. Or he could just kind of be okay. 60, 70 points ish. Like, I mean, not that that's bad, but like, you know what I mean? Not a superstar face of the franchise kind of guy. But hey, maybe if you just get a lot more production top to bottom, you don't have any one guy that's, blowing you away, but you have a lot of guys that are in the 50 plus points. You get a lot of guys in the 20 plus goals, right? We had a similar situation last year, but obviously that team fell apart and didn't make the playoffs. So it's going to be a big year for Derek Lalonde. It's going to be a big year for Steve Yzerman as far as I'm concerned. And obviously the moves aren't done, but either way, look, as far as I'm concerned, playoffs or bust, or I'm done. Like, I'm just done with the whole administration. So good stuff, I guess. I don't know. Kamala, any comment?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Hi, it's me again. If you enjoyed what you just saw, hit the like and subscribe button. We do live shows every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there.